Hey everybody, this is Roger Mendoza. Thank you for joining us on the Monday Night Oil Talk. Tonight we're going to be going off over to A to Z part 4, I think it is, for A to Z oils, where Miss Krista Melendez, she's going to be talking about all the oils doTERRA has, not all in one segment. That's why we have to divide it all in parts. But this number 4 is going to be talking about 11 oils, I think she said. 11 oils, and make sure you have your notes or something, piece of paper out, because I do. Make sure you have your notes and you go and write them down, because she has a lot of stuff to cover, especially within the 20 to 25-minute mark, and she usually keeps it on time, unless I keep talking a lot. Well, let me go ahead and introduce Miss Krista Melendez. She is a diamond out of the Florida area, and she's been doing this for a long time, and she loves her team and her community. She loves sharing how these oils work, and she's going to share that with you guys today. So let me go ahead and bring her on.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you so much. I'm so excited you guys are here tonight. And I love this series because I found early on that my customers were learning a lot about the top 10 oils, and they weren't getting to hear about all of what doTERRA has to offer. So I wanted to create a way for you to step-by-step learn more and more. So last month, we went over about 14 oils, I think, that night. Tonight is a little lighter. It's 11 oils, but there are some pretty good ones here. Some that I'm ssure you are familiar with, and some you might not be. So let's get out pen and paper in case you want to take some notes. And feel free in the chat bar, if we don't get it right at the same time, like maybe at the end, we can get back to questions. But if I need to repeat something, just let me know, because I do tend to go a little quick. So the first oil we're going to talk about is coriander. I'm going to guess that half of you have that oil, because it was probably one of the last ones that I bought because I wanted to complete my collection, right? I have to have them all, so I have to eventually get coriander. However, it's got a lot of amazing benefits. One really cool thing is that it actually comes from the cilantro plant. So those two oils come from the same plant. Very interesting. This one comes from the seed of that plant. It's steam distilled from the seed. All right, and so the scent of coriander is green and sharp. I'm not quite sure what green smells like, but earthy and herbal. Now, cilantro is very strong, so this one's a little bit more mild than that, okay? You can take this oil internally. This is an aromatic, topical, and internal oil. You can use it all 3 ways. When you take it internally, it's going to help aid in digestion. Okay? You can add it to your skin cleansers or moisturizers, and it will help maintain clear complexion. We have a lot of oils that will help with skin and complexion, but this is just one more in the tool belt. Let's say you meet someone who can't use Melaleuca and they want something to help with their skin. This might be a good option for them. This is also a good oil that you can massage into your legs after a workout to help ease achy muscles. If you were to rub this into your neck or bottoms of your feet, it will help promote relaxation, which is not an oil I would grab for relaxation. I like to have balance and serenity and lavender, but men probably don't always want to smell like a flower. So maybe they could get some cedarwood and some coriander and mix it up a little bit and give them something a little different. It's a great oil to cook with. It's going to add a nice, warm, spicy flavor to your recipes. Okay, I'm going to tell you that it blends well with the following oils. So when you're trying to combine oils together to figure out how to make them work together, like in the diffuser or just putting on topically or roller balls, it's going to blend well with Roman chamomile, ginger, and kumquat, interestingly enough. Just some unique blends that you can make, and those oils will go well together. Now, emotionally speaking, I do get my information from Modern Essentials, any of the books that we have. I also like to pull from the Emotions book, just to give us another insight, because as we go through life and stress, and it affects our bodies, and emotions affect our bodies. And so if you can learn how an oil can help you emotionally, it can help free up your body in that way too. So emotionally, this is the oil of integrity. Coriander is the oil of integrity, specifically with yourself. Have integrity with yourself. This is emotionally helps you step out of the box and be yourself. Very interesting. This oil helps in aiding, I saw this extra note I wanted to mention, aids in healthy insulin response for healthy pancreas. So that's important to note as well. All right, so that's coriander. Let's move on to fennel. Now, if we use Digestin, we know that we're getting fennel because that has our fennel in it, right? Fennel has a licorice, sweet, honey smell. It's going to be what gives that digestion, Digestin, that strong scent, right? The fennel. All right, this is also aromatic, topical, and internal. It is recommended to dilute this on young skin. This oil, as you could probably guess, is going to aid in helping with healthy digestion. It's going to also help a healthy metabolism. It's going to help your liver function properly and help with circulation. Who knew? All right, so this one helps like with almost every part of your body. It's also going to help with respiratory function and the health of your lungs. I was at Symphony of the Cells about a week ago, and the gentleman that was teaching it, Boyd Truman, he had said that, you know, a drop of fennel under your tongue in your mouth, swallow it, will help get rid of phlegm in your throat. So if you ever have like a frog caught in your throat and the next couple of months it goes by and you get a cold and you just keep getting that in your throat, try a drop of fennel. Now it's going to be strong, right? But give it a shot and see, because it just kind of takes care of all of that. Okay. All right, so in addition to the phlegm in your throat, it can also help with fighting sugar cravings or sweet cravings. And so if you're trying to battle that over the holidays, you can diffuse fennel and you can take it internally. And I'm guessing, you know, if you're diffusing it, you're smelling it, so you could probably just put it in your hands and smell it as well. So aromatically, it's going to help with those sugar cravings as well. This is a great one to help with mamas when they're nursing. It will help increase milk production. So they can just put it right on their chest, use some coconut oil, and I would do it daily, and it will actually help increase milk production, which is a really big deal for mamas. Emotionally, this oil is the oil of responsibility. It's when you're feeling defeated, it's going to help reignite a passion for life. Gets things moving, okay? All right, let's flip on over and go to helichrysum. Now, I am sure that you have heard of and probably used helichrysum, but helichrysum is one of our most expensive oils. I want to say it's $75 for a 5 ml. So it's a pretty pricey one. It was one that I wanted early on in my journey, and I couldn't afford it. And so I went to Carolina and asked if I could buy 10 drops. And she's like, you have expensive taste. But I wanted to know what it was going to do and help my body. So I wanted to get 10 drops of that for myself. This is what it was doing for us, though. Emotionally, it's the oil for pain. And again, that's emotional pain, not necessarily physical pain. So it's going to be the oil that helps with difficult life circumstances, trauma, anything that was self-destructive, loss, abuse. It's going to give strength and endurance to the wounded soul. So if you know someone who's going through a trial, this might be a really good oil to recommend to them for emotional support. And you may want to mix it with something. I enjoy the smell of it. Some people may not. But it does come from a flower. It is steam distilled. The scent is herbal. It also says it reminds people of hay, but it's earthy. Like I said, I like the smell of it. It is aromatic, topical, and internal. You can use it all 3 ways. This is a great oil to use to help reduce the appearance of blemishes. It can help promote a healthy metabolism. You can use it in full body massage to promote vitality and energy. And one of the really cool things that I learned really early on was that it helps stop bleeding. And that is like, what? How does that work? But it does, it really does. Elaine Huprich, you may know who she is. She had told me a story very early on about a hunter. He would go hunting with his dogs, and his dogs would get attacked sometimes by animals or whatever. And one of his dogs bled out when they were hunting. And when he learned about helichrysum, he would always go hunting with a bottle of helichrysum. And one of the times his dogs got bit again and was bleeding, he was able to put the helichrysum on the dog and stop the bleeding before he could get to the vet to get it taken care of. And he saved his dog. So if you know, like if you have injury-prone children, this may be a really good oil. You can think of other ways that we need to deal with bleeding, whether it be nosebleeds. Sometimes that just happens. You can put helichrysum on here, and that will help with that as well. Helichrysum is also a natural sunscreen. I want to say it doesn't have a high SPF, but it's higher than all the other oils. I want to say it's about 12 SPF. And so I do have a recipe here for you that you can make a sunscreen. I'm still hoping that doTERRA will hear my prayers and give us a sunscreen one day soon. But I will give you this recipe and feel free to make it if you have some spare time. So 1/4 cup of beeswax, and the same of shea butter, and then the same in fractionated coconut oil. So 1/4 cup of all of those. About a teaspoon of vitamin E, two tablespoons of zinc oxide, and 12 to 20 drops of helichrysum. It's kind of up to your choice. The more you can add, the stronger it'll be. So it was a 1/4 cup beeswax, 1/4 cup shea butter, 1/4 cup fractionated coconut oil, vitamin E, 2 tablespoons zinc oxide, 12 to 20 drops helichrysum. Now what you would do is you would melt down the beeswax and shea butter until it was liquidy, all the way melted, and then add the coconut oil, add the vitamin E, stir in the zinc oxide, take it off the heat, and then add your helichrysum to that. Again, it's not going to be something that's going to prevent you from getting a sunburn if you're out all day long, but it's going to give you some added benefit. It's definitely going to protect you. Here in Florida, we just have like serious sun rays, so I don't want to lead you astray. But definitely I think it will help. All right, so in addition to that, helichrysum is just really good for your skin. It's good for anti-aging, all the effects that we see over time from the sun damage. Imagine if it's good as a sunscreen and has SPF, how much good that's going to do for your skin. So putting that on your skin daily would be helpful, especially on our faces. All right, let's see, there was a couple other notes here. I will tell you it blends well with the following oils. It's going to blend well with the oil called Hope, Deep Blue, Ginger, Wintergreen, Lime, Siberian Fir, and Peppermint. So maybe give you some new options there. All right, let's move on to our next oil. So the next oil is juniper berry. Juniper berry is from a berry, and it is steam distilled. And the scent is described as balsamic and clean and woodsy and a little spicy. It doesn't, when I hear the word berry, I don't really think of this oil. I think of strawberries, but juniper berry is not going to be very sweet, but it is a nice, pleasant aroma. I think you will like it. So this one's going to help with healthy kidney and urinary tract function. And it's going to, you can apply it 1 drop for healthy, clear complexion. It is a really good natural cleansing and detoxifying agent. So that means it's going to help cleanse and detoxify the body. Now, all of our oils that have detoxifying and cleansing effects, they're very gentle. That word detox sounds kind of scary to me when I hear it out loud, but it's not. It's going to be very gentle. You might not even know what it's doing, but it's slowly cleansing your body, and we need that from all the stuff we put in our bodies. All right, you can add this one to your skincare also. It's really good as a natural skin toner. Now, emotionally, juniper berry is the oil of night. Sounds mysterious, right? It's for good sleep. It's for good sleep. So if your kids, or if you know of anyone who's having nightmares, things that are keeping them up at night, interrupted sleep, this is a great oil for them to diffuse and to apply before bed to help with calming them down before sleep. This oil helps you face fears. So if children are afraid of the dark, one of the recommendations I read was to make a nighttime room spray. You could name it whatever you want that makes them happy. But you put about 5 drops of this oil in a spray bottle with some water, and then spray it around the room or over their pillows, and it will help with their sleeping. All right, so let's go on to our next oil, which is marjoram. And marjoram is one that we probably never used until we got to doTERRA because it's used for a lot of things, but I didn't know what it was before, unless you cook. If you cook a lot, you might know. But so this one comes from the leaf. It is steam distilled as well. The scent is warm and herbal and woodsy. It is aromatic, topical, and internal, so you can use it all 3 ways. It's valued for its calming effects and properties. It's going to have a nice calming effect on the nervous system. You can add it for a nice soothing massage and target your tired, stressed muscles. Marjoram and frankincense are 2 really nice ones to put together for sore muscles and aches and pains of all kinds. I do know people who take those 2 together internally as well to help with discomfort. It's going to help promote a healthy immune function. It's such a good oil. It encourages healthy cardiovascular system function, so it's good for your heart. And if you're going to cook with it, remember that 1 drop is about equivalent to 2 dry teaspoons. And Chrissy says it's good for blood pressure too. Yes. It's so good. Emotionally, so this is the oil of connection. So this one's going to help you when you are struggling to trust others. This oil is going to help you with connecting and help you develop trust and to be emotionally open and get connected again. Okay. This time of year can be hard sometimes, so use that. And I'll tell you what it blends well with is geranium, cedarwood, and neroli. All right, so the next oil is myrrh. It's a perfect time, and it was not planned. We have our free frankincense this month, and now you get to learn about myrrh. So myrrh comes from a resin. It is steam distilled from a resin, very much like frankincense is. And the scent is, I want to say it kind of reminds me of iron or medicinal, and that's just me. I've heard it described as smoky, herbal, woodsy. It's not a bad smell. It's, I don't know, it smells clean to me. Okay. It's a very good oil. It's also very sticky. And if you buy it, you'll know that it has a hard time coming out of the bottle, right? You just have to be patient, like the old ketchup commercials, like good things come to those who wait. It will come. It will come. All right, so it has powerful cleansing properties, especially for the mouth and the throat. And I've heard that when babies are born, it's a great oil to put on the umbilical cord when it's been cut to help like with soothing that boo-boo, for lack of a better word. That's just a baby boo-boo, right? To help it heal and just to heal better. All right. It's also good for your skin and complexion. It's going to help promote smooth, youthful looking skin. Imagine that with a little bit of our yarrow palm. Fantastic. It's also a great oil to promote emotional balance and well-being. On emotional side, this is the oil of mothering. So this helps with a mother-child bond. And it helps you feel the love and nurturing of a mother. So if you know of anybody who's missing their mama right now or any of that, this might be a great oil to put into a blend as a gift for them. There's also a lot of fantastic things you can do with myrrh. I encourage you just to search. I love searching Pinterest and Google, and Facebook now becomes like its own version of Google because you can just type in the search bar whatever you want, and somebody from doTERRA who's amazing has made a graphic or recipe for every oil there is. So on that note, here's two I'll give you. One is a cuticle cream, because us ladies always like to do things to make our hands and nails feel good, right? So you would melt 2 tablespoons of shea butter, and then a teaspoon of beeswax. And add a tablespoon of coconut oil. Melt it all down, just like you would with the other recipes. Add about 7 to 10 drops of myrrh, and then let it cool. And as it cools, it'll harden. And then you can rub that into your cuticles. Especially this time of year, it'd be good. Not that we get super cold here, but it still gets drier than normal. So, and then the other one that's kind of nice for your nails is equal parts of frankincense, myrrh, and lemon on your nails will help strengthen your nails. So if you get your nails done a lot and they get weak, you can put that on. Lemon, myrrh, and frankincense, equal parts. So, oh, very good. All right, so let's go on to our next oil. We are running long tonight. Sorry. Rosemary is our next one. So I bet we're familiar with rosemary. This is steam distilled from the flower and the leaf. And the scent is herbaceous and it smells like a spice, okay? A lot of people like to cook with rosemary. It's a great oil to cook with. All right, so this one is going to support a healthy respiratory function. You can take 1 drop internally to support healthy internal organ function. So it's going to help with your whole body just functioning properly. You can also put this oil on your scalp and massage in for healthy hair. Okay. This oil will help reduce nervous tension and occasional fatigue. It's especially good for students that are studying for a big quiz or test, or I know my daughter's in 6th grade and she has midterms next week. It's bizarre to me, but so she has big tests that she has to study for the first time really in her life. So rosemary, they say if they just diffuse it when they're studying, and then they can have it with them when they're taking the test. It's supposed to help with memory recall. So rosemary helps with focus and concentration. It will help with recall. It's worth giving it a shot, right? So emotionally, this is the oil of knowledge. So maybe that's how it works on the tests. It's the oil of knowledge. Must be what it is. It's going to be an oil that helps with transition. So that's good to know. And it blends well with lemon and zendocrine. I will say one of my favorite diffuser recipes in my kitchen is rosemary and lemon. You diffuse the two together and it doesn't really smell like lemon and doesn't really smell like rosemary. It just really smells clean. It's hard to explain, but it's a good one. Equal parts. So, all right, so for the next one, it's sandalwood. And which one am I talking about? The Hawaiian sandalwood or the other one? And which one should you buy? I'm going to talk about both. Okay, there are 2 sandalwoods. How confusing is that? And they're the exact same price. So whenever I purchase sandalwood, I always pick the Hawaiian one because it just sounds more fancy, right? We all want to go to Hawaii. But they're pretty much the same. They do have some differences in their qualities, and I'm going to explain that to you tonight. All right, so we're going to start with the Hawaiian sandalwood. And again, this is steam distilled from the wood, and it has a rich, honey, sweet, woodsy scent. You can diffuse it for a restful night's sleep. Put it on your neck and your shoulders before bed. Apply it to your skin the day before a big photo shoot or presentation. It's great for your skin to look beautiful. You can also add it to your shampoo to improve the look of your hair. And you can add it to your night cream. Like I said, it's really good for your skin. Okay, so this one's good for all of those things. And now we're gonna switch over to the Indian. So the other sandalwood comes from India. All right, so it's got the same scent. I don't know if you guys have smelled the two together, but they're just identical in scent. They're both aromatic, topical, and internal. And the reason I think that we have both, Roger can correct me if I'm wrong, but is that our Hawaiian source was not as stable. And so doTERRA was trying to find another sustainability source. And that's what they found. The Indian was about the same exact chemical constituents. And so there was no difference. That way, if we ever lose the Hawaiian one, we'll always have that one. All right? All right. All right, so this one again helps promote healthy looking skin. It helps reduce the appearance of skin imperfections. Can also help enhance your mood. Has grounding and uplifting properties. Okay, this one you can also add to your hair, your shampoo or leave-in conditioner to help with silky shine. And it does all the same things. Do you guys notice that? So when it comes down to it, you really don't have to decide one or the other, just eeny, meeny, miny, mo. They're very much the same. They smell the same price. I know people ask me a lot, what's the difference? Which one should I get? Doesn't matter. They're gonna do the same thing. All right, so it is the oil of worship. This is an oil that helps calm the mind and the heart. And it helps you with your overthinking things. Who does that? We don't do that, right? Us doTERRA people, we don't overthink things, do we? Meh. All right, so a great couple of oils you can blend it with is oregano, immortelle, peace, and spikenard. I can't imagine anything blends well with spikenard, but hey, there are people who like it. I still call it stinknard, but you can call it whatever you want. I did have a recipe for you, a diffuser blend that I liked, sandalwood, frankincense, and bergamot, and it's 2 drops of each. Frankincense, sandalwood, and bergamot. So when you're feeling kind of, you know, like you want to spend the big money on the big oils, sometimes I feel like the expensive ones just have to go on my skin or in my body, not diffused in the air. But sandalwood and frankincense and bergamot, 2 drops of each is what I had written down. So equal parts, though. All right, we got 2 more oils. Stick with me, okay? Spearmint. Spearmint comes from the plant. It is steam distilled from the leaves of the plant. It is sweet and minty and fresh. Helps promote digestion. Can be used all 3 ways, aromatically, topical, and internal. They do recommend that you dilute for sensitive skin. So it can help reduce occasional upset stomach. It also can promote a sense of focus and uplift your mood. It's great for cleaning your mouth and promoting fresh breath. So if you're gonna run off to the dentist or have a big presentation, maybe put a drop of spearmint in your mouth. Yummy. It does say you can add it to your favorite desserts for great flavor. I can't imagine what recipe I would add it to, but you might. All right, this is a good oil also for relieving sore muscles and joints, and it can be used as an expectorant. It blends well with cassia, lavender, and clary sage. And one of my favorite blends is eucalyptus and spearmint. I made it this holiday season with soap, with foaming hand soap, and you can also put it in the diffuser. So eucalyptus and spearmint, equal parts. Emotionally, this is the oil of confident speech. It's going to inspire clarity of thought and confident verbal expression. It's kind of scary, but it says that it will allow, spearmint will let your inner thoughts be heard. So be careful with that one. It's going to let you be yourself and help when you feel stressed. You can diffuse it when feeling stressed. All right, so our last oil of the day is definitely a big hero of all of ours. It is immortelle. At a training I went to very early on, there was a speaker and he said, if all the superheroes got together and had a baby, it would be immortelle. Because it's our frankincense, it's our sandalwood, our myrrh, lavender, helichrysum, rose. It's all the expensive, heavy hitters, amazing oils in one bottle. So this is a fantastic blend. If you've not gotten it before, it is pricey at $69, but it is definitely worth it. So this scent is woodsy and spicy and rich and fresh. It helps support skin at a cellular level. I mean, just if you know the benefits of those oils that are in it, you know what an amazing blend this is. It's going to help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So a lot of women love to use this in their skincare regimen. And one money-saving tip I can give you is to get an empty 10 ml rollerball and pour half of it into that empty bottle and then fill them both up with fractionated coconut oil. And you have 2 now. It's not diluted by doTERRA, it's pure. So if you want it diluted like the touch rollers and that, you can just have 2 for the price of 1. So that's a nice benefit. All right, so I've been told you can use it as deodorant. Kind of pricey deodorant, but I've heard people do that. Let's see what else. It can help with youthful looking skin. We all know that part. It can also help with eyesight. So if you are struggling with vision, or it's changing over time, try putting your Immortelle around your eyes and see if you see some benefits. See some benefits. Okay. This oil is the oil of insight. Okay, so it's going to help you when you feel disconnected and burdened and discouraged. It's going to help you feel hopeful and trusting. Who can't use a little bit of that, right? And my last tip for this one is it is a Mama's Boo Boo Blend first aid stick all the way. Carry that one in your purse whenever you go to the park with your kids, or just whatever. If they fall down and get hurt, it's a great one to grab. Hopefully it's the diluted one. And you can roll it on their boo-boos and help them feel better and get better faster. All right, so those are all 11 of my oils, and I am 4 minutes over-ish.
4 minutes over. Oh no. All right, let me go ahead and thank you very much, Krista, for explaining all these oils to us. I'm going to stop the recording just so we can have any questions if you guys have any. So we could be a little bit, let me stop the recording for a second.